is Thursday Night Football here from Fort Worth. It is a beautiful night, and welcome to ESPN's Thursday Night College Football, presented by Dave & Buster's. A heck of a matchup in the Big 12. Very important game on both sides. The offense of the Red Raiders, the defense of the Horned Frogs, Texas Tech and TCU. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming, and happy to have with us here this week Joey Galloway, Kirk Herbstreit. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You two have known each other basically since you're teenagers, right?
Yeah, long time.
Yeah. Long time. Worked together at ESPN a long time.
Couple
but this
years
is the first
ago.
time
Yeah.
you've worked a game together. Yeah. So we're honored.
Looking forward to it.
I think we expect a really good game. The matchup of offense and defense. Quarterback questions, Kirk, on both sides. Let's start with Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, Texas Tech, when we all got ready for this broadcast, we weren't real sure what they were going to do with their true freshman, Alan Bowman, who's been an amazing story. Of course, a couple weeks ago, he had a collapsed lung. Question whether or not he could come out this week. In fact, he is not going to be able to go, so he is not available for this offense. So they're going to go with Jet Duffy. The difference between Bowman, who's more of your traditional air raid Cliff Kingsbury quarterback, and Jet Duffy is Duffy's got a big arm, as you'll see tonight, but he's much more mobile. He's looking to create, try to put a lot of pressure on Gary Patterson's defense with his feet, not just his arm. We'll see how Gary's defense tries to slow him down.
And we've seen this TCU offense be explosive with Rager outside and Turpin, Anderson in the backfield. But it begins with Sean Robinson. He's been banged up, had a week off. They said he's gotten healthier during the bye, but when you watch him the last couple weeks, he's struggled some. He struggled with some turnovers. He doesn't look as athletic. Hopefully he's feeling really good tonight. They're going to need everything he has offensively. They have to make plays down the field, and it all begins with Sean Robinson taking care of the football.
So it really is a game where we think we know, but the quarterback questions on both sides. How will Duffy play without a whole lot of game experience? How will Robinson play with that shoulder problem? We're not quite sure about what these offenses are going to look like. Huge question for Texas Tech. No matter what, can their defense hold up? They feel like they're much improved from the last couple of years. TCU prides themselves on Gary Patterson's defense, and there is the longtime head coach here in Fort Worth, one of the longest tenured coaches in all of college football. He'll bring his Horned Frogs onto the field. As we get ready for kickoff, let's welcome in Laura Rutledge.
Well, thank you, Dave. And Joey Galloway mentioned it off the top of the broadcast. Sean Robinson, the quarterback for TCU, will play tonight, and he's starting, but he is dealing with a left shoulder injury, and he's dealt with it all the way back to his high school days. He can't injure it further, so they basically just have to deal with the pain. They stabilize that shoulder and make sure that he's in the best position possible. The athletic trainers said it's because of his work this week in the rehab center that he was able to play tonight.
All right, and here we go. Cavante Turpin so dangerous in the return game. There is a penalty flag down, tripped up outside the 25. So it is the very talented sophomore Sean Robinson will hand it off. Darius Anderson, huge hole right up the middle for an immediate first down TCU.
You better be ready to defend not only the physicality, but the tempo. You're not going to see a lot of replays when TCU has the ball. So they'll spread you out, and they're going to run just as much as they throw.
Swing it out to the left side with a block and a nice gain. Not quite a first down, but 8 yards.
And that's two good gains for the TCU offense. You're talking about a confidence builder. Last couple weeks, not a lot of points. 17 points against Iowa State, 16 points against Texas. We know they're explosive. They want to get off to a good start, get points early.
What I like is a couple RPOs early. Shows you Sean Robinson dialed in. Gives the first, gets the look on the second, decides to throw it with a loose coverage to the top of the screen.
So it's 2nd and 2, back to pass, stepping up, and he's going to go down. That pocket collapsed, and the Red Raiders get their first sack of the night. Tony Jones leading the way.
Guys, that's a combination of really good coverage downfield, but also getting a push up front. He had to step up because of the pressure on the edges, Joey, but when you get a push in the middle, that really makes it tough on any quarterback, and Robinson is as delicate as he needs to be tonight. Not a great thing for him to deal with.
And honestly, not a bad decision to eat that ball. You don't want to take a sack, but there was no one open. Take care of the football.
Getting all lined up. Pressure comes up the middle. Robinson will step up And he's going to throw on the move, a little high. That pass brought in, though. Gang tackled well short of the first down. So TCU's offense will have to punt the ball away.
And you wonder in these situations, if a healthy Shawn Robinson doesn't take off and try to run for a first down in this situation, dealing with the shoulder, and it sounds crazy, but he doesn't move laterally as well. It throws off your balance. I dealt with one before. When you're trying to run and you have a shoulder that is sort of, you can't move it, it's tough to shift. It's tough to make guys miss.
And a win for David Gibbs and his defense.
A fair catch signal. It's going to be good field position for Texas Tech and their offense. Daquan Bowman with the catch. The Red Raiders offense comes on the field. Let's go back down to Laura.
Well, Kirk talked about it at the top of the broadcast, Dave, but Alan Bowman, the Texas Tech quarterback, out with the collapsed lung. They were able to reinflate the lung, but felt like it wasn't safe enough for him to play because if he were to be contacted, it could injure him further. The other thing that you should look out for tonight with Texas Tech is that they are without their starting center, Paul Stawers, who actually didn't even make the trip due to an undisclosed injury. That means Bailey Smith will be the starting center. He's taken all second-team reps at center leading up to this game and had a lot of reps this week, but new quarterback, new center, guys. Interesting stuff.
And on the road, Laura, so that's a great report. Keep an eye on those snaps and the communication.
Jet Duffy will hand the ball off on first down, and the tailback, who is Trey King. They have a lot of runners on this Texas Tech offensive team, gets a couple yards.
So you know about the air raid offense with Cliff Kingsbury, and we talked about in the open, the difference with Jet Duffy is when things are a little messy, he's going to pull down and take it off and be a real threat. We'll see how they defend his feet.
And a fullback in the game as well. Duffy throws, and that pass is completed with the good hands, the strong hands of T.J. Vasher, who might be their most talented wideout, a yard short of a first down.
And T.J. Vasher is 6'6". And when you watch this Texas Tech offense, they utilize all of their height out wide. Wesley, maybe their best wide receiver, is 6'5". They don't have to be deadly accurate with the ball. They have to be close. Their guys have such a catch radius that they can grab the ball no matter where it is.
You could really see his length on that catch, too, coming back to the ball.
They've had a lot of great receivers at Texas Tech these last few years. That quick hitter is good enough for a first down into TCU territory.
Good answer there by Duffy. Gary Patterson deciding to bring the pressure. Brought 3 linebackers on the blitz. Good read there. Was patient, calm. Duffy gets the ball out. And a first down for Texas Tech.
That was Seth Collins who came up with that catch. We may well call his name a bunch of times. He's a very talented kid who played a lot of quarterback in the Pac-12 with Oregon State. Transferred to Lubbock, now a wide receiver full-time. Very good athlete. Texas Tech thinks he could catch a lot of balls. Duffy on first down swings it out. That is Vasher trying to get to that corner, took a big hit and got a yard.
And I love the start by Texas Tech. You got a young quarterback coming in Duffy who's an athlete. They've given him some easy throws. He's thrown a hitch. He's thrown a swing pass. He's thrown an inside slant. You want to let him build some confidence early in this game with easy completions.
Not only that, some easy reads, too. Just get him to settle in. I love to see the true freshman. He's a true freshman. Look how active he is trying to help out.
Does give you a little insight into how he's been so successful right away. Duffy shows some of that mobility, gets away from another Horned Frogs defender. That was a hard-earned couple of yards to make it third down and manageable.
You know, when Cliff Kingsbury on the field before the game, he said this kid has a big arm. It's just more about his decision-making. That time as he rolled right, 2 defenders, because of his feet, came towards him, and a receiver was all alone. If he just dumped it right over top of those defenders, his receiver's running for 15 or 20 yards and an easy first down. So that's the key for him tonight, is seeing the field and making good decisions.
Third down and 6. It will be interesting to monitor their tempo tonight. Red Raiders play clock starting to wind down, under 5. Can they get the ball snapped? Down to 2, down to 1. They do. Duffy in the pocket, throws, and another slant complete for another Texas Tech first down.
Joey, I love to see a quarterback here. Again, you look to the left, you got 3 receivers. He's essentially looking for soft coverage. It was the middle receiver that time, Collins, that got the soft coverage, and he's able to slip it between a linebacker and a safety.
Duffy will keep it and get tackled at the 25 after a couple yards.
We saw Garrett Wallow late to break on the slant, and you wonder if he's concerned about Duffy's ability to run the ball out of the pocket, has to wait an extra second, keep his eye on Duffy to make sure that he doesn't take off running. He was late getting to the slant on the previous play.
Yeah, he did. He hesitated. His feet and his eyes weren't quite sure, and it gave him just enough of a throwing window to sneak that one in.
So after the defense forced the punt, Texas Tech's offense moving down the field. Getting close to the red zone. Duffy swings it out left side, and a cut toward the sideline. Not much room there for Trey King. Another third down coming up.
Watch out now. Look out, ref. Look out. Look out.
The sweat's working up already. It's a beautiful night. The weather could not be more ideal. I don't think that's a factor for Coach Patterson.
No. Big third down here.
Yeah, and they've converted a couple of them already. Duffy looks pretty comfortable for a guy who hadn't played a whole lot of football.
Getting that look from Cliff Kingsbury, getting confirmation, a couple adjustments, has trips, 3 receivers up to the top.
And he's going to keep it. A big hole opens up inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5-yard line.
And we talked a second ago about Garrett Wallow being slow on the read. Well, this is why. The athleticism of Duffy, the entire defense runs to the right side, and it opens up for Duffy to make these kind of plays. Duffy is 5 for 5 to begin this game. It is going to open up the run lanes now for this young quarterback.
And give Cliff Kingsbury, remember, he looked over, made that check. That entire defense not only ran with the fake, they're slanting and angling with the defensive line opposite of the way he ran.
They give the ball to King. He gets stuck and driven backwards. One thing about this Red Raiders team in 2018, it is a lot different. They are running the ball into the end zone. Most of their red zone touchdowns have been on the ground. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, you don't think of Texas Tech and their ability to run the ball. I think they're more physical. The entire offensive line returns from a year ago. They've got some good backs that they rotate in, keeps them fresh, and allows them to be able to run, gives them that option down inside here.
Duffy looking to throw, and he throws that fade toward the corner. Wesley just stopped. It's 3rd and goal.
Wesley tries to run a slant and go on the inside and just gets caught, and that's the risk you run. Gladney, the corner, does a really nice job of staying outside. There's really nothing that Wesley can do to get back outside of it, and then you give Duffy credit. Threw the ball out of the end zone.
Yeah.
It's not there. Get rid of it.
So here, if he decides to go to the fade, he's got Wesley to his left at 6'5", and Vasher to his right at 6'6". Both decisive advantages over the corners they're going up against.
Times are a little different these days. On 3rd and goal, out of the timeout, Duffy keeps, and Duffy will get dragged down. Good play by Ty Summers and company, and I think they read that one all the way. Banagoo also in on the play.
Yeah, we keep talking about the options he has to the outside. How about Banagoo, 15? Watch him come in, go back out, and then show the athletic ability to go back into the inside. Very athletic defensive end, all-conference performer, but that was just great awareness and instincts not to be fooled there on that 3rd down.
So short field goal try for Clayton Hatfield, just 22 yards, basically like an extra point, and from the middle of the field, the kick is up, and it is perfect. Well, good start for the Red Raiders. Defense holds, offense moves the ball with Jeff Duffy at the helm, and they get 3 on the board to take an early lead. Great town, great campus, TCU, the Horned Frogs, big expectations this year. They've lost 2 games trying to get back on track against an improved Texas Tech team that is off to a good start. 3-0 first quarter. Red Raiders kick it back to Devontae Turpin, who's going to bring it out. And it's not Turpin. In fact, it's a different return man for TCU, out to about the 20-yard line and stop there. Sean Robinson, the offense, back on the field. Anderson straight ahead running for a gain of about 4, maybe close to 5 on first down.
This Texas Tech defense, we've talked a little bit during the broadcast about their offensive line being more physical. I know it's not great, Joey, but the Texas Tech defensive front has been better. And David Gibbs, he's about as interesting and entertaining of a defensive coordinator as you're going to find in the country.
Anderson trying to bounce it out with some tough running, takes a big hit, got close, and may well have gotten the first down for TCU.
You know, Coach Gibbs pointed out to us, they don't get run over anymore. And he admitted they weren't very good in the past couple seasons. And he said, we're not the greatest defense now, but at least now when you play Texas Tech, we'll hit you. You know that you've been in a defensive battle, and that is a win for this team. They got one stop already in this game, and if they can continue, their confidence will build.
Again, I was going to say, they're top 25 in the country in third down defense. For these guys, that's huge step in the right direction.
Swing it out to Rager, who juggles it, and I'm not sure that was a forward pass. The ball's on the turf, and TCU very fortunate to pounce on the ball. I think it was a live ball.
That's a fumble.
And Kirk, you mentioned it. They're coming off of a bye week. And this has been sloppy football. 3 or 4 penalties already in this game. This is definitely a lateral, no doubt about it. And you wonder if they're setting up for something. If they're setting up for later on throwing a pass off of this look, Texas Tech will be kicking themselves. They had 3 or 4 guys out there with a chance to get this football and get the ball back in scoring position.
But I love to see, even if he caught that ball, there's 3 white jerseys there. There's nowhere to go.
Freshman Tavalance Hunt was the guy who got on the live ball. Now a swing pass other side and a nice run after the catch for Naaah.
Naaah. You've been practicing that one.
Well,
you nailed that.
You got to say it quick. You can't get hung up.
Well, Anderson gets most of the attention, but Naaah is a big physical back at 231 pounds. I kidded him when we had him for Ohio State a few weeks ago. I said, man, usually he recruits guys like you that are running back and moves you to a defensive end. But he's like, no, I'm a running back, and I'm not moving anywhere. And he's had a great career here in Fort Worth.
He has. He sets up a 3rd down and short, and will get the ball and get the 1st down. That straight ahead power style running out to the 45.
And that's a big 1st down for your TCU. You've had some penalties, you set the ball back, and now you have a chance to get across midfield, get some confidence going, get into a rhythm for Shawn Robinson.
Quick snap. Naaah is going to get the ball again, and this time much less running room, just a couple yards.
I feel like Sonny Cumbie is a great offensive coach, and just watching them, it's got to be driving him crazy more than Gary Patterson, because he's all about being buttoned up. And this is a school that he's going up against where he played, and I just feel like they need to stretch the field. I know it's early in the game, but Texas Tech is crowding the line of scrimmage. They're coming downhill against the running game and the quick passes that are out to the perimeter. Wouldn't be surprised to see them challenge this defense and just try to get it downfield a little bit.
Robinson in the pocket, pressure comes, he takes a hit and delivers the ball on target. A huge hit on that end from Vontae Dorsey, but the pass complete for a 1st down.
There's vertical seams there, and they found one right here. When Robinson gets his foot down, he gets hit right into that shoulder. Focusing on Turpin getting hit, but Robinson got hit too.
He did. He throws almost like a back shoulder type throw. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Let's go downstairs to Laura.
Well, we see TJ Vasher for Texas Tech being taken into the locker room. Guys, he's been pointing to his lower back and specifically the right side, dealing with a lot of pain. You see, he could barely even walk off the field. Very gingerly there. I'll keep you updated on what we find out.
And Vasher's your most talented wide receiver. He's the swagger guy. He brings the attitude for the offense of Texas Tech. They're banged up, so now they're missing their starting quarterback. Vasher goes to the locker room.
Starting center.
They're up 7, but you got to wonder about they have enough bodies on the offensive side.
Yeah, their center's out too. A short gain on 2nd down sets up 3rd and long for TCU.
Vasher gives them that big. We talked about his catch radius and 6'6". So Cliff Kingsbury is going to continue to tweak that playbook and continue to try to put his group of wide receivers, when they get the ball back, in a position to win.
And Kirk, you mentioned Shawn Robinson going downfield. We saw the last throw, just not very accurate. They've asked him, just give your receivers a chance when you go downfield. Didn't do it on the last throw. We'll see if they continue to take those shots.
Now, Shawn Robinson, who is so talented, was the Texas High School Player of the Year, played a bit as a freshman last year. The starter as a sophomore on 3rd and 9. Pressure comes. Robinson's going to run. Robinson makes a man miss. 1st down. No, the ball comes out. The ball's down on the field, scooped up by TCU and taken inside the 10. It's loose again, but I think they're saying the ball was down. Chaos for the Horned Frogs, which has been such a problem for them. You saw the good and the bad from Robinson all in one play.
Yeah, and Robinson's put the ball on the ground and lost 3 fumbles, and he lost 3 fumbles in the last 3 games. And this is an athletic play. You're talking about a guy that's dealing with a shoulder, and you wonder when he gets in the crowd, how comfortable does he feel holding on to the ball and taking these hits?
Well, they do get organize and go backwards. They give it to Anderson on 1st and goal and lose yardage.
The thing that you have to respect out of him is he shows his toughness with the willingness on 3rd and long to not hesitate and go. Like, he got back there, and instead of waiting for the play to develop, he saw the open in the middle of that field and said, I'm out. And instantly, so talk all you want about the fumble. I just love to see that a guy that's not feeling 100% is willing to take off and still use his feet, which are a real weapon.
He's got to be able to do that to be as good as he can be. You still do know that ball security is a huge issue. He goes under center and gets it to Turpin on a little sweep play, and Turpin inside the 10 to set up 3rd and goal.
Kirk, and I agree with you. You can see Texas Tech, they're coming downhill. They have jerseys there, and you're talking about trapping Turpin in a box. Don't let him get one-on-one with someone. Get him in a box, 3 or 4 guys there, and make a tackle. Now, this is the play. This is the one. Do they trust Robinson to put this ball in the air? Hasn't been very accurate at times. We know he's dealing with the shoulder. Do they trust him to Sonny Cumbie say, Robinson, we're going to put it in your hands to throw a pass on 3rd going into the end zone?
I would. I mean, you got to trust him. He's your guy. So I think you give him his chance here and let him make a decision.
He is back to pass, pressured immediately, kind of flings it up there. It's knocked up in the air and intercepted. Intercepted, brought out of the end zone, which I'm not sure that was a good decision. Now the ball comes out again. TCU thinks they have it, but ruled down on the field. That's going to be a turnover. Jordan Brooks off the tip ball came up with it.
Lynn had his hands on the ball. I mean, the ball was thrown off of his back foot. But the big tight end has a chance here. It's 6-6.
Rolling on the field is an interception by Texas Tech. The runner was down at the 3-yard line by rule. 1st down.
Take a look to see if the ball is up in the air. I thought he really had a chance there, but give Texas Tech credit for not giving up on the play. It looked like Brooks got just his left hand in there just enough to separate the football, and he's down. So you're right, not a great decision to come out, but they will have the football.
So TCU had the ball for 14 plays, went down the field and gets nothing to show for it. The ball is also on the turf several different times for the Horned Frogs on that possession. Jet Duffy makes a cut and is down right near the line of scrimmage. Dangerous part of the field here for the Red Raiders. Final seconds of quarter number 1.
And Dave, you said this morning at our meeting you figured a low-scoring game today, right?
Yeah, this is classic Texas Tech football right here. 3-0.
Exactly. You're all over that.
Oh, man.
Right from MLB playoffs right into another Thursday night for you.
Kind of wearing the throwback uniforms like the old days of Texas Tech. And this is a baseball kind of game so far, and Texas Tech's going to be happy to let those final seconds wind off the clock. We are through quarter number 1, as we all predicted. Low scoring here in the Big 12. Red Raiders on the road with a 3-0 lead. Well, maybe not the style of game we're used to seeing in the Big 12 as we start quarter number 2. It is Texas Tech on the road with a 3-0 lead over the Horned Frogs of TCU. Dave Fleming, Joey Galloway, Kurt Herbstreit, Laura Rutledge. Happy to have you with us on this gorgeous Thursday night. Now, as we do start the second quarter, you can see where Texas Tech's offense is pinned deep. A play fake and a throw across the middle for a completion out to the 10. Stopped short, so we'll have a 3rd down from inside the 10-yard line.
Gary Patterson, sure, now that he's getting comfortable with this plan with a more mobile quarterback in Duffy, thinking about mixing up the looks, trying to create some confusion, trying to create some turnovers. And that's an area that, surprisingly, they've not been very effective, is getting turnovers. And especially playing against a young quarterback, they got to be thinking about dialing up pressure and trying to get exotic with their looks.
Now movement, flags thrown all over the place.
Snap infraction, number 71. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And remember, it's a backup center. The starter's out tonight.
Johnny Manziel, who played for Cliff Kingsbury in his first year as a starter at Texas A&M and stays very close to him, and here just to support him for a night before he goes back up to his duties in the CFL.
Quarterback coaching for Cliff Kingsbury in the last decade or so. Pretty remarkable, the list he's produced from the end zone. Duffy's got to be careful here. He will roll out of the pocket and throw it away, and I think he did get outside the pocket and get it back to the line.
Did he get it to the line of scrimmage? The officials are going to get together and talk about that.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the pocket, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage.
There you go.
4th down.
I love when they come together just to be able to confirm.
And it was Garrett Wallow, the linebacker, getting the pressure. He was spying Duffy on this play. We talked about him being late to the slant earlier in this game, and this is why. He's spying Duffy, eyes on Duffy. Make sure Duffy doesn't come out of the pocket and get this key first down. Huge stop for the TCU defense.
Yeah, especially this deep in Texas Tech territory.
Pressure on the punter, Kevontae Turpin, who's got 4 career punt returns for a touchdown, will not make a fair catch signal. Turpin with his speed tried to spin away from that tackler and could not quite do it, but the Horned Frogs are going to start in Texas Tech territory when we come back down 3-0 here in the second quarter. TCU on the field, first down handoff for a nice game.
And it's interesting that they go to the run play. Kirk, when I played, when you got a turnover and you're across your 50, that was when you were taking a shot. Yeah. You mentioned Robinson going downfield. I would be so excited in the huddle in these situations on first downs. I knew coaches were going to call a shot to try to get a big play to keep the momentum that your defense just started going.
What was your excitement level like when they call another run?
Well, you know, I was always excited to block. So
you really were known for that.
Yeah.
On 2nd and 4, Robinson making an adjustment to the call. I do want to go back to one play that might get hidden in this game that I don't want us to forget. Robinson with some pressure coming. Nice delivery across the middle for a TCU first down. Texas Tech, and it's hard to blame the kid, Jordan Brooks, who made the great interception. But Brooks brought it out of the end zone to about the 3-yard line. They have to start in that terrible field position, and that's really set TCU up here on this drive.
And now they're going fast tempo here with the first down.
And off to Anderson again, inside the 20.
I love to see Robinson there. He didn't look over and the coaches made the check. He saw soft coverage on one of his inside receivers and just an easy little dig route where nobody contested the receiver off the ball. And that's just kind of pitching and catching for a quarterback that's accurate and a wide receiver who he trusts.
And you can see why they're so excited about Shawn Robinson. He makes some throws that are just at the next level. The way he zips it in, strong arm, good athlete.
Little shoulder fake, Robinson on the move, across the body, what an arm, and what a catch for a touchdown. Wow.
And there is all the athleticism, running to the right and that throw on a line.
Desmond Smith in coverage, he's on an island, and he got lost. We keep talking about the potential of Jalen Reagor. Off to the right, up at the top. Watch the defender. He just turns the wrong way. He's lost. And the quarterback, Robinson, keeps the play alive, but keeps his eyes downfield. And he's always, once he breaks contain, he's always looking to find Jalen Reagor. Reagor breaks away. As I said, Desmond Smith, no chance to stay with Reagor.
And we know Reagor's a talented receiver, their best receiver out wide. And now he has a corner out wide. Watch him flip his hips. A corner flips his hips, it's over. Reagor excited, great route, great touchdown. TCU takes the lead.
Big student turnout here on just a gorgeous night in Fort Worth. And the Horned Frogs have their first lead. Kick it back to the Red Raiders. TCU return game can be pretty explosive out to the 30-yard line with a pass. Duffy straight up the middle. Jet Duffy dives forward.
As you guys mentioned, Texas Tech right now without their starting left tackle Travis Bruffy came off the field dealing with a left ankle injury. They retaped it. He is trying to go, but right now not able to get out on the field.
And Dawson Peaton, the freshman from Frisco, in for him. We already saw a hole. That's an area to keep an eye on that matchup with L.J. Collier, 91 across from him.
One of the best pass rushers in the Big 12. A handoff on 2nd and short, and I think he did get the first down. The point you guys both made early in this broadcast about air raid, we're not seeing that tonight with Jet Duffy. The true freshman quarterback is hurt, and the rush pass ratio for the Red Raiders. When's the last time we saw anything like that for this team?
Good for Cliff Kingsbury. Good for him recognizing and tweaking his attack to the talent that he's working with at quarterback.
Twice as many rush yards as pass yards. The world's upside down in Lubbock.
Yeah, they're going to have to pass it, though. I mean, this is playing right into TCU's hands. Gary Patterson now getting his 4-down lineman out there. They're slowing down the run. They're going to force Duffy to pass this ball. He just threw an interception. The penalty gave it back. But you're seeing his ability or lack of ability to go down the field with the football. TCU is going to crowd the line, force these longer throws. You can see there's 10 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage now.
But see, I think with the success of that running game, you can not necessarily throw it always downfield, but you can hit some play action quick shots to some of those inside receivers.
They were having some success with that very early in the game on their first drive. They got the field goal. Duffy, kind of a delay handoff. What a move by the true freshman Henry. That, he only gets credit for about 5 yards. That was a pretty spectacular run.
Yeah, and I think TCU is thinking the same thing you're saying right there, Herb. As you can see, there was nowhere to go. As you see, they're breaking downhill at this point, and it's a nice move in the backfield. Now you have Duffy, an athletic quarterback. You might want to keep it in his hands again to let him run for a first down.
3 for 6 on third downs. This is a 3rd and 2. Right near midfield. Back to pass. Duffy going deep on 3rd and short. One-on-one coverage. Jump catch. Incomplete, out of bounds. Great effort by Antoine Wesley.
A great catch as well, Dave. He just didn't come down in bounds. He caught the football, but the left foot, or the right foot, just unable to come down. But a heck of an effort.
Yeah, and if Wesley's going to have success at 6'6", he has to have the ability to catch the ball above his head. And right now, Duffy, not very accurate, throws him out of bounds. But I love the attitude. Okay, they're switching. For a second there, Dave, I thought they were in 4-down territory. They changed their minds. Duffy has to throw that ball in the air and use the 6'6" body frame to go above his head and catch the football.
Turpin, that dangerous punt returner, creeping up a little closer. An end-over-end angled punt for Texas Tech. Maybe that's just by design to keep Turpin from having a chance to return one. Out of bounds. The Horned Frogs offense will come back on the field. So a frustrating series there for Texas Tech. Beautiful night in Fort Worth. Big 12 football. Red Raiders, Horned Frogs, 7-3 TCU. There's Sean Robinson and the offense for TCU. 1st and 15. We'll hand it off to Darius Anderson. Anderson, who did have a few comments, they were sort of veiled during the bye week of maybe not getting the ball as much as he would like. Talented junior running back.
He had 154 yards against Ohio State, and I think he's a very capable back. We saw what he could do last year when he came in for Kyle Hicks and had a couple big games against Arkansas and Oklahoma State. But the last couple weeks shut down completely against Texas and only 42 yards against Iowa State. So you can imagine how frustrated he is, but I don't think it's about opportunities. I think at times he's trying to hit the big play. He just needs to take what the defense gives him.
2nd and 11. Robinson with some pressure picked up. Throws down the sideline into coverage and almost intercepted. Now here comes the penalty flag. The hat was thrown off, so I think the receiver went out of bounds, but then the flag thrown as well.
Yeah, I want to know if he stepped out on his own or if he was forced out by Smith.
Pass interference, number 4. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
And Desmond Smith has also dealt with some injuries. They said he's 75% coming to this game. Texas Tech has been so banged up. Once you turn around and put your hand on the receiver, it's over. I mean, you are forcing the official to throw a penalty.
Yeah. Not only that, that right hand got up into the chest, forced him out of bounds. So if he would have stepped out of bounds on his own and then been pushed, wouldn't have been a penalty.
And he had good coverage. He was in the right place. Relax and let the ball come.
So first down for the Horned Frogs. Outside their own 35-yard line. Robinson keeps it. Sean Robinson got dragged down once he got out of bounds, and here comes some more flags.
And a horse collar there by Deshaun Johnson, the veteran captain. Just who knows
Personal
better.
Foul. Horse collar tackle. Number 7. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. Automatic. First down.
He missed the first 3 games of the year, and they really missed him in the back end. He's come back, and as I said, as a 4-year starter, he's put some weight on. And right here, internally, you got to be thinking about obviously it's a mental mistake.
Robinson once again fell on that left shoulder, though, and that is something to keep your eye on. He used the left arm to stiff arm. We know he's banged up on the left side, and then he hits the ground. You got to keep your eye on him, see how he comes back out after this drive.
Sean Robinson throws across the middle, and the open field tackle keeps the clock moving. Second down.
And TCU is sitting with 2 timeouts. They can throw it anywhere on the field. The short passes are open. Surprised they don't burn one here. They have 2.
4-man rush. That one toward the sideline. Turpin takes it out of bounds.
Good job of getting out of bounds. Nice route. Trying to find a one-on-one matchup that can win. With those 2 timeouts, it still opens up the middle of the field. And Jalen Rager, who's his top receiver, already made a play earlier in one-on-one coverage, is up against Adrian Fry, who's a young player.
Robinson keeps it. Robinson shoved out of bounds. Clock will stop. Short gain. At this point, this part of the field, I think Texas Tech is happy to see TCU bite off short chunks. Horned Frogs get organized. One thing about this crowd, when their offense is on the field, they know how to get quiet.
So I think you got to get the ball thrown up here. Use this receiver to take that defender away.
2nd and 8. Waiting a long time to get the ball snapped. Now they finally do. Robinson, here comes some pressure, throws that one very high and could have been intercepted.
Yeah, he went from his left, worked his way all the way back to the right, and by the time he did, it was too late.
Without looking.
Yeah.
He just turned and he threw it. If he was looking right side early, Kirk, like you pointed out, if he's looking right to the beginning of this play, the curl's going to be there. He just comes back late with it.
Yeah, he had Rager open, but he had his eyes to the left.
Texas Tech shows pressure, picked up nicely. Now, though, time running out, and Robinson just flings it towards his running back. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
There it is again, 3rd down. Got to give David Gibbs a lot of credit for mixing up those looks and confusing not just the quarterback, Joy, but more importantly, the offensive line.
But in these situations, you have man-to-man coverage out wide. That is the easiest decision ever made for a quarterback. At this point, you don't have to locate safeties. You don't have to read coverage. You know you have man-to-man coverage. You find Jalen Rager.
You find Rager, or you find Turpin. You find the matchup, and the ball's got to get out quick.
Yeah, and just get the ball out and let him make a play for you.
This is 47 yards. Jonathan Song, who does have the leg. He's got a 46-yarder this year. Oh, that kick is hooking, and it is no good. And that will give Texas Tech a boost heading to the locker room. Texas Tech has played a lot better in the second half, so very interesting matchup here tonight. Red Raiders, I think they are pleased with where they stand. 7-3 Horned Frogs. Now time to send it to Adnan and Jesse. No Joey tonight. He's here with us in studio. Well, welcome back to ESPN's Thursday Night College Football, presented by Dave and Buster's. Really a fascinating first half, maybe in a different way than we would have thought coming in. Our first half stats brought to you by Mahindra. The offense was not what we might have expected based on the history of these 2 schools. Turnovers were a big part of the story. TCU, 2 more of them in the first half, and the Horned Frogs lead 7-3. Texas Tech, the defense held up. They will get the ball first here to start the second half after TCU had it to begin the game. So we get to see the Red Raiders offense on the field, and maybe with a different guy at quarterback. We found something from the end of the first half we're going to show you here in just a moment. That kickoff toward the goal line, and Texas Tech will not have great field position. Let's see who the quarterback is going to be, and it will be McLean Carter.
But when was the last time we saw Texas Tech with 40 yards passing and a half? And while they managed the game, Cliff Kingsbury coming over to Carter at the end of the first half. Our crew here on Thursday night, cameras catching him and saying, "You ready? Are you ready?" So clearly they go in at halftime. And he told me before the game, I said, "Can 6 go if you need him?" He said, "Yeah, he's about 80% with the freshman Bowman down. They're going to probably start to throw it around a little bit more because he's much more of your traditional Texas Tech kind of quarterback."
And here's what I was wondering: how comfortable was Coach with the 3 points? It's 7-3. It's close. We're thinking, hey, they're in this game. But how comfortable are you without being able to move the ball down the field, passing only 40 yards passing in the first half?
Obviously, he wasn't that comfortable. Nice gain on first down. First pass from Carter. Let's go down to Laura Rutledge.
Yeah, Dave McClain, Carter dealing with a little nerves, having to come out here on the road, actually wiping his hand off right before he was going out on the field and saying, my hands are sweating. I'm feeling a little sweaty palms. One thing, too, Duffy could come back in this game, obviously, if they need to go back to him. He is staying in good spirits over here on the sideline.
Carter will hand the ball off, and just almost nowhere to go. In fact, Texas Tech goes backwards to set up third down.
So what you missed there is the mobility of what we saw in the first half with Duffy, and now you're going to get more passing. And remember, Carter started week 1. He was the guy that broke camp that they believed would give them the best chance. He had the ankle against Ole Miss, and we haven't seen him since. He's only completed 4 passes on the year.
And if you're just turning this game on thinking 40 yards passing, the true freshman starting quarterback out with a collapsed lung injury. That pass on target for a first down, Texas Tech.
And you see Coach Patterson sent the blitz. Here's a young quarterback. This is his first series in this game. It's a 3rd and 2. Send the blitz. See if the young guy knows where to go with the football. And Carter absolutely calmly in the pocket delivers it out to the flat for a first down.
See, I think there's different vision here with Carter. He sees things a lot quicker.
Carter's going deep down the sideline into coverage, and almost a one-handed catch for Antoine Wesley.
If nothing else, they
and you
stretched
wonder
the
why
field.
it had to be a one-handed catch, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the ball needs to be. Wesley is a 6'5", 6'6" guy, and we talked about earlier his ability to go up and get the ball. That's where he wants it. Go with 2 hands and catch this ball. It's a perfect throw. The little push shot, he used both hands to push instead of just going up to get the football.
Yeah, threw it in the outside shoulder near the boundary where receiver can get away from the defender, go up and make a play.
Well, I do think it's fascinating to hear what's going on. Carter's going to go down. He gets sacked on second down, dragged it for a loss of a yard or so.
There's a pulling guard here, pulling tackle. Looked like this time Jacob Hines. It's been a revolving door. Watch the left guard come around, try to deal with that. That is a tough ask against the best pass for one of the best pass rushers in the Big 12. Benegu really having a night tonight for this defense. Very active. Look for him here again on third down, and with Collier on the other side.
Texas Tech, the second quarter, no points. First time they hadn't scored
Look
in
at
a quarter
Collier.
since the opener. Yeah, there's Collier for another sack.
Remember, they are moving people around just to try to deal with the loss of Bruffy. This time it is Dawson Keaton.
And he's their bull rush end. He's just coming with sheer power.
That's a
Not
freshman.
a lot of move. We're just going to walk him back. We're going to get there. And Coach mentioned he didn't know how much Collier would play in this game because of Duffy being such a good athlete that they may have to take Collier out. But Collier's been dominant on the right side of this defense, getting after the quarterback. And when he doesn't get there, he breaks down the pocket.
Texas Tech on 4th and 18. The fair catch made by Turpin. Around the 35, TCU will have the ball for the first time in the second half. Let's go down again to Laura.
Talking to Gary Patterson coming out of halftime. And Dave, as you might imagine, Gary very upset about the penalties and mistakes in the first half. He said, look, our defense is playing well, holding Texas Tech to just 3 points, but we have got to eliminate those mistakes. He told him that was the message at halftime. Also, that they have to score some points. He said, unacceptable that we only have 7 points.
Turnovers, Laura, continue to be the Achilles heel for this offense. It's been the kind of the theme of the last 3 or 4 weeks. So they've been hearing it for 4 weeks. We'll see if the halftime speech helps.
Some of these, for the most part, this year have not been a huge problem for TCU. Patient run, but just nowhere to go.
We continue to talk about it, but when you're used to watching Texas Tech defense and you look and watch them play, it's just more physical at the line of scrimmage.
Robinson down the sideline. Robinson. Turpin makes a diving attempt but can't catch it. Just could not come up with the ball.
Texas Tech brings a blitz, and once again you see Robinson a little indecisive with where to go with the football. It's man-to-man coverage out wide. You can pick any one of your guys to go to, and he's going to be alone with the defensive back. Give him a chance to make a play on the football. This would have been a great catch, a laying out catch, but put this ball in there and give your guy a chance. It's man-to-man.
3rd and 9. That throw short left. Can the receiver turn it upfield? The answer is no. Tay Barber stopped well short of the first down. Red Raiders defense is going to force another punt.
Yep, get off the field, and DeMarcus Fields, because of that pressure, Robinson forced to just get the ball out of his hands quickly, which is exactly what David Gibbs wants, and then you just rally to the football and keep him short of the first down.
Where are we at right now? Seriously. When they asked me to come to the game with you guys, I came here for offense. I didn't come down
when I knew I was coming here for this, and I got Michigan, Wisconsin on Saturday, I thought this would be a little bit more a Saturday night.
I mean, you guys don't need me for this.
Oh, wait till Ann Arbor. It's going to be 48 to 42.
We're going to flip it, right?
It's opposite week with Herbie and Joey here in Fort Worth. Yeah, another punt in the Big 12. 7-3 Horned Frogs. Now, maybe it's just me. I thought this was pretty cool. Coach Patterson told us that from his house, yeah, this is Gary Patterson's backyard. It's a pretty nice setup, too, by the way, for Coach, which you would expect. You can see the stadium. He's really just a few blocks away. He wanted a house where he could get to the office and back very quickly, so you can actually see the lights of the stadium from his backyard. A little flea flicker type play with Jet Duffy back in the game, and they just swing it out short left, so they get some positive yardage on first down.
Give TCU credit, defensive back. They had 4 guys back. They didn't bite on the flea flicker at all. And then give Duffy credit. Got it out to the flat, didn't take the loss.
Can we have any more opposite and contrasting styles of coaches tonight?
I love it.
It can't be any more different.
Offense, defense, veteran. Cliff Kingsbury still maybe considered a younger coach. He was so young when he took over as head coach in Lubbock. That's a first down run for DeLeon Ward. And then the demeanor. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can see Cliff is intense in his own way, but I don't know if anybody can match top left. I mean, that's a whole different level with the visor.
I mean, the play sheet will fall off the clip.
Pull up the britches.
The cord will get tangled around his neck. He pulls up the pants.
Yeah. No, he's doing everything other than getting on the field and tackling somebody.
That's always been the way he's done it.
I love it.
Duffy down the middle, wide open, caught. 10, touchdown, Texas Tech.
Well, we keep waiting and waiting until they might take a shot, and they get the look that they want to be able to throw the football to High, who's a smaller receiver. You see him right down the middle of the field. It's a mix-up in coverage. 2 safeties that are high. When you have 2 safeties that are high, Evans, the linebacker, needs to run with that vertical receiver. Nobody picked him up. And how about this? Give Duffy credit for recognizing that and getting the ball out of his hands quick. Texas Tech's just been bobbing and weaving and hanging around really bad field position to start most drives. And now they have a chance to go up by 3 here in the third quarter.
Jadian High with the big play for the touchdown. Red Raiders needed that badly. All right, now we're ready to go. Extra point, no problem. 5 extra yards, up and good.
And as Kirk mentioned, there's safeties in the back. Once the play starts, you'll see the safety go the wrong direction. Looks around. We haven't seen Texas Tech throw a ball down the middle of the field deep yet in this game.
But these guys, somebody has to run with him.
Well, these safeties split. Safeties just completely split. The linebackers believe that the safeties are behind them until they look back and the ball's gone and they realize no one's back there. It's the first time in this game, and Kirk, you talked about the chess matchup, about the ability to go downfield. We've not seen Tech throw this ball to the inside of this field all night long down the field.
And sometimes the complexity of Gary Patterson's defense and all that energy of him communicating to the safeties to make sure all 11 are on the same page, sometimes there's a misfire. Sometimes there's a bust in coverage. And Texas Tech and Cliff Kingsbury calling it right at the right time. And how about Jet Duffy growing up tonight for the Red Raiders?
And they're missing Nico Small on the back end.
Yep.
And he's their quarterback of the defensive backs. He's not in this game. And Coach mentioned it's going to be difficult to get the communication in. A lot of times plays 2 different coverages on each side of the field.
A big play that has really changed the feel of this game. 10-7 Texas Tech. Kick return for Turpin gets spun around. And And TCU's offense will start right around the 20-yard line. Robinson, and more pressure shown. Allen up the middle. They still got plenty of time on the play clock.
It's one of those examples Joey's talking about. Hit a crossing route. Get the ball out now.
He gets it out deep down the field. Turpin turns around and it drops right into his hands for the big play.
And I love what he did. He looked at Turpin. He gave Turpin a signal. There was no thinking. He looked at him and said, I'm coming to you, Turpin. Make a play for me.
Well, he got a blitz from his left with Coleman, and then he got a one-on-one matchup that he knew he could win against John Bonney, a safety trying to stay with Turpin. He just threw it up and let him adjust to the ball.
35 yards on first down. He falls down as he went to make the throw, and it was almost intercepted. His foot slipped. It's incomplete, and TCU is lucky that it is. Yeah, Coleman made a break on the ball.
His left foot just came out from underneath him as he threw the football, and almost another turnover there. And I don't know if slipping necessarily affected the ball. I think it was just a poor decision.
Yeah, and Coleman simply read his eyes. He looked to the right side the entire time, and Coleman saw him.
A little trick play. TCU trying for some misdirection, but Texas Tech all over it. All over it.
There's Joey's guy, Eli Howard, 53, using his quickness to get upfield, force Turpin back inside.
Yeah, it almost seems like a situation now with the TCU offense. They almost invite blitz now because it takes away the read process. I feel like they're just sort of digging into the playbook saying, man, let's find something that works. Let's look. But when they blitz, now all of a sudden it clears up for Robinson, lets him go downfield with it. Being in third and long, I wouldn't mind if they blitz. I'm hoping they blitz.
We'll see if Tech does it here on 3rd and 10 after Turpin was stopped for no gain. Play clock winding down, and the ball is snapped. Pressure off the edge. Robinson steps up, going to try to run for it. Robinson got away for one man and get the first down and go out of bounds. Big play by Sean Robinson.
Exactly what they wanted here, where they make him get out of the pocket on 3rd down and long. They have him leveraged. They've got exactly what they want. Keep him in the middle, and then that cut right there to the outside, where the defense doesn't keep him contained. They had him stopped. If they make the tackle there, 7 or 8 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, an extra block got some extra yardage for Robinson. Tate Barber, true freshman, good block on the outside. Big first down for TCU. Robinson has nowhere to go this time. In fact, he goes backwards. Loss of 5.
Colin Hill, the senior, he and Tony Jones kind of rotated that position. And Hill is known for this quickness. And this time he gets outside of the tackle, Naaah, and does a great job. Really representative of this defense's attitude tonight, Colin Hill.
A Notre Dame transfer, and when you watch Notre Dame play these days, you can see why he figured I better go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Notre Dame, how many good defensive linemen does Notre Dame have?
They got about 6 monsters up front, truly.
Swing pass left side with the speed. Anderson, the ball pops out. Texas Tech thinks they have it right near the sideline, and they do. Another Horned Frog turnover.
You know, the turnovers are almost getting to a point where you're just almost jinxed as a team. They are -9, almost -10. And think about, again, the interception that they could have had. Just been a sloppy night tonight again for TCU's offense.
And you create these turnovers when you bring more than one guy to the party. When you're tackling with one guy, there's the issue. You got guys around, you punch that ball out, and you got teammates. They're all swarming. This is a different Texas Tech defense with a different attitude that we're watching in this game.
Vontae Dorsey, the guy who stripped it, and maybe even the guy in the end who fell on the ball. Great play by him. So after the penalty on first down at 15, Duffy dancing around. Duffy will stumble forward, but just barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
That time they did a very good job of keeping him in the pocket. Corey Bethley, who's had a really good year, the young sophomore, did a nice job. And also, again, we've talked a lot about L.J. Collier, but Vanagoo also does a good job of containing him. He's an undersized guy, so if he's in that pocket, he's got some problems. He's got to be able to step up and then move to his left or to his right.
Get the ball snapped properly this time. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. That one to Wesley, and another good delivery for another first down.
And that's a great throw. Gladney, the corner, is in a up position. They're playing that 3 deep, 2 zone up front. And this is the best throw by Duffy all night long. He's right over Gladney, over his head. And Gladney had to think, in this position where I'm standing, there's no way he's going to throw this ball. Yeah. Great throw.
That was the best throw of the night from Jet Duffy. On first down, this is the true freshman Henry, who's got a lot of burst to him.
He's negotiating 12, as Joey said. Gladney, is he up tight on the shorter receiver? He's kind of right in the middle, maybe a little deeper, trying to force him to throw to the shorter throw, but instead he goes over top of it.
So that is the end of the third quarter. And how about this? The backup quarterback, the air raid offense not fully functioning for Cliff Kingsbury and his team. And yet, with all of that, they're going to take a lead to quarter number 4. Pretty impressive. Gary Patterson's TCU team. Is it crisis mode yet for the Horned Frogs? Maybe not, but they're down 10-7 as we go to quarter number 4. On the first play of quarter number 4, Texas Tech goes nowhere. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 3. A drive that started at their own 2-yard line has been impressive to this point, but TCU's got a chance to get a stop.
Yeah, and if I haven't said it already, this is a huge 3rd down. but now, honestly, it's on TCU's defense at this point. Texas Tech has done their job. They've flipped the field. Now TCU has to find a way to get off the field on 3rd down.
Duffy going deep down the sideline for Wesley, and he makes a catch. Did his foot come down in bounds? Yes! What a throw, what a catch.
Big time throw and an outstanding
Rolling
catch.
on the field as a completed pass for a catch and 1st down.
How about Wesley going? Look at the balls thrown over the sideline, and that right toe looks like it's on the line.
I think it's out of bounds.
Yeah.
After further review, the receiver had his right foot out of bounds. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It's going to be 4th down from the 50-yard line.
I'll use the phrase that you used a minute ago, flip the field. They did manage to do that. I'm assuming that Texas Tech is going to punt. Remember, they started at the 2-yard line, so now they have a chance to pin TCU deep.
Remember, in the first quarter, early in this game, you might think about Cliff Kingsbury going for some of these. In fact, we saw him one time right around midfield go for it, but now totally different game. The way their defense has been playing for 3 quarters now.
You say they took 8 minutes on that drive?
No. It was a 10-play, 337.
337.
When you got the Red Raiders steel curtain defense, why would you ever go for it? You just got to punt. The identity of this program has shifted. Dominic Canizzolo, the punter, booms one. That was probably not the way they drew it up.
No, that was too flat. He wanted that one way up in the air, and special teams coach coming over and talking to him, pretty frustrated.
So it'll be 1st down TCU from the 20. Let's go down to Laura.
Dave, the message to this TCU offense has been we have to have more than 1 play per drive. And then specifically to Shawn Robinson, offensive coaches telling him that he's feeling pressure that isn't there, almost imaginary pressure, telling him he's got to go through his progressions and take his time. Kirk, when a defense has been pressuring you all day long, how does that sort of get in your head as a quarterback?
Well, I don't think it's just tonight. I think it's tonight, Texas, Ohio State in the second half. Iowa State. I think this has been a little bit of a pattern for him, and I think the big thing is you got to go back to what he does best, and you know that based on practice and talking to him during the week, so you can get the ball out a lot quicker.
There's a new running back in the game, and he's going to get a carry right away. Amari DiMercado, who is a junior college transfer who has not played a whole lot. DiMercado gets the carry on 1st down.
Trying to look just somebody to maybe provide a little bit of juice to this offense. It just has not been there tonight. But that's my answer, is find out what he's done, what he told you this week that he's comfortable with, and I think still getting the ball out a little bit quicker as opposed to sitting in that pocket. Hitch, hitch, hitch.
We've done this a few times. To interrupt the tempo of the defense. That slant is complete. Turpin out into the open field and close to midfield.
And I love the play call. Texas Tech brings a blitz. It's a nice easy throw. Step left, throw the slant. You have Turpin out wide in a one-on-one situation. There's nothing to read. You don't have to take your time. You can just drive this ball in and hope that Turpin can break a big one.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about as far as getting back and just getting the ball out. But you got to have when those one-on-one opportunities are there, you got to recognize that pre-snap and get the ball out quickly, just like he did.
So out close to midfield. Maybe Texas Tech should have gone for it. They punted it into the end zone, and a couple plays later, it's right where the ball was. Play fake. And that quick hitter toward the right sideline for another first down catch.
Again, back. One hitch. Ball is out. Surprised at Texas Tech getting a little softer that time with Adrian Fry, their corner, the freshman. They've been pretty aggressive most of the night. Makes it a lot easier on Shawn Robinson and his receivers when you get softer in coverage.
Now they've crept up closer to the line, and so they go over the top to Rager. Ball tipped away by Fry.
And Kirk, you're absolutely right. The play before, Fry's running out. When you watch them on film, that's the way they played. They would run out, they would be soft, and I would be looking at their coverage thinking they're giving up 15 yards off the snap. Tonight, because they've been so confident in their ability to get after Robinson, they've been playing a more aggressive style. Now it's 3rd and short, and you can see again down to the bottom, Fry's in a softer coverage. It's interesting to me the shift in the 4th quarter to a softer coverage.
And off, and I don't know, very close, but he may well have been stopped short.
How about Rico Jeffers? He was just down the last series with an injury, but has played his heart out tonight along with Jordan Brooks at that linebacker spot.
It's 4th down, and no surprise TCU is going for it. But what an opportunity for the Texas Tech defense.
You know, with these style of offenses, I think I'd rather almost be 4th and 3 than 4th and short. They're going to put the back in there and just go Wildcat, try to run it through there.
Naaah will take the direct snap. That's a long yard to get. Let's see. Naaah straight ahead, and with some power, he will get the first down. Somebody's helmet came flying off.
You know what, though? He was met right at the line of scrimmage, but his lower body and his drive got him the 3 or 4 yards. The center, Hollins, will have to come out for a play. But he's met right at the line of scrimmage by that defensive line. Looked like Robert Washington got in, but he would not be denied and picks up a huge first down now into the 4th quarter for TCU.
It looks to me like for at least one play, it's the guard, Chris Gaynor, who slides over and will snap the ball. First down.
Pretty good snap.
It was. Perfect. Good delivery. Rager gets tripped up.
Robinson looks different on this drive. A little more confident. Lauren talked about coaches talking to him. And he said, call what he's comfortable with now. And right now, the ball is coming out. There's not a lot of thinking to it. There's not a lot of stay in the pocket and look around and read defenses. It's one read, ball comes out, and it's been on the money.
You can just feel the nervous energy here in this stadium. TCU down in the 4th quarter. They are moving the ball here. Robinson on 2nd and 3. With a 4-man sort of delayed rush toward the end zone. Turpin, touchdown. A long way to go, but for now, a big exhale from a lot of the folks here in Fort Worth. TCU back ahead.
Give Sonny Cumbie a lot of credit for this drive as well. They end up coming up with a big answer to take the lead. 8 plays, 80 yards, a little over 3 minutes. But some really good plays, responding to Laura's report and what they need to do. They got the ball out quick. They found some matchups. And then eventually they take a big shot downfield to Turpin.
Extra point up and good.
You get matched up with DeMarcus Fields. There's a bigger corner at 200 pounds, and you get him one-on-one. The safety actually is occupied by the tight end, Lynn. That's a matchup that you like to have as a quarterback. Turpin's able to run away from him, puts it where only Turpin can make the catch, and the Frogs are up.
TCU 80 yards down the field in 8 plays into the end zone. Back ahead, 14-10, a short kickoff. And the Red Raiders will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. Now the question is, can Jed Duffy and his Texas Tech offense get back down the field, going deep for Wesley? He catches in stride. A penalty is thrown inside the 20. A huge play to Antoine Wesley, and presumably this catch will stand.
Izahaku had to grab onto his arm. That's the only reason there's a penalty. How about this coming right back in his man-to-man?
Duffy and later in this game is just the throw he made to the sideline.
Number 31. Defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
The deep ball, I don't know what it is about Duffy late in this game. but somehow he's found a confidence.
Well,
and he is throwing the ball, and
Joe,
he's taking his shots, and he's giving his big guys a chance to make a play.
But I think Cliff Kingsbury deserves a lot of the credit for holding back a few aces and waiting for the right time to find matchups he wanted to exploit.
Needing a touchdown to go back ahead. Here comes pressure, and it opens wide up for Duffy. To the 20, to the 15. Duffy with the Jets. Touchdown! Wow! They brought the pressure, and it just opened up for the running quarterback, and he took it the whole way.
Man-to-man, design quarterback draw, and he follows Bailey Smith, the backup center, for a touchdown.
Who had no one to block.
No.
Seriously, such a good play call. Bailey Smith, I mean, give him credit for the hustle.
Yeah.
There was no one left to block.
No.
I think he got it across, don't you? They were looking to make sure the ball got across, I think, easily in the end zone. Looks to me like the whole body is well into the end zone. Those angles can be a little deceiving. He's passing the goal line right there. Yeah. I mean,
I haven't seen anything yet that would overturn it.
It was closer than I thought watching it for the first time. I leaned into it a little bit.
Even with the lean, it was still closer. And Kirk, you mentioned Kingsbury holding a couple back, saving a couple plays.
Yeah, he sure has.
That play call right there we have not seen yet.
We've kind of been waiting for something like that.
Draw, and it is at the perfect time. Blitz coming man-to-man.
It's true. It's why I was asking you guys, we haven't seen much of Duffy in the run game. That was the perfect call. Extra point up and good. That's big. That pads the lead back to 3. So a full field goal advantage for Texas Tech with 7:02 on the clock.
They're going to end up bringing Evans here on a blitz. They'll bring in the late blitz here from a safety, and everybody else is locked up in man-to-man situations. That's why it just opened up. There's the blitz in middle linebacker. Look at the defensive back in the background with his back to the quarterback because he's in man-to-man. So they call it at the perfect time.
These guys do so many different things offensively that it is tougher to catch up and catch a rhythm and play this kind of team. And we can see here in the fourth quarter, the TCU defense is still trying to figure things out and trying to find a way to slow down Texas Tech.
Maybe returnable for a very dangerous return man. Turpin, who tried to hit that hole, gets tackled across the 25. Under 6.5 to play. TCU with the ball, but down at home. Sean Robinson taking plenty of time. Play fake, and that one comes up short. He had to get rid of it.
They're going after Desmond Smith. And if you look at Desmond Smith, look, he looks long and lean. 6'2", 190, but not real twitchy as a corner. And he's trying to stay man-to-man with Turpin, who's 5'9", about 160 pounds, who's incredibly twitchy.
And he's backing out early. He's given a look of press coverage, but before they get into the snap count, he's backing out so Robinson can see that he's not impressed, and he's just going to his side.
2nd and 10.
Well, that's the matchup they're trying to go after. You probably see a safety, Bonnie, right now back there trying to help.
They will hand the ball off. The run defense has been super impressive, I think, for Tech.
And it's just interesting to me to see if they're going to be back, and this is a guy you're going after, and on snap he's 8 yards deep, then continue to go after him, attack him, make him come up, and then hit him deeper. Now you got 3rd and long, and if I'm Texas Tech, and what they've done all night long is give the send a blitz in these situations, get Robinson out of the pocket. I would send a blitz and play press coverage.
David Gibbs, the guy we've talked about a lot tonight, he was talking right to Desmond Smith, pulled him away from the line. That blitz comes. Robinson gets away. On the move, trying to plant. Robinson will get tackled well short of the first down.
They brought the blitz on the outside to try to flush him. They got there with Justice Parker. But the speed here of these linebackers has been on display again tonight. This time it's Jordan Brooks, the junior. One will chase him out. He's also involved in that blitz. But Parker flushes him. And I love that Brooks got outside and forced him to cut back inside instead of letting him around the corner.
Roderick Washington, the big defensive lineman. You thought the previous one was really short. This one's going backwards. My goodness.
Is that very or really? Which one you going with on that punt?
That is really, 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 really short. Painfully short.
And that's a really, really, really big stop by the Texas
It
Tech
is.
defense. And David Gibbs again.
The recipe is blitz on 3rd and long. Until TCU figures it out, they're going to continue to blitz and continue to have to punt the ball on 4th down.
Could be a big upset brewing here in Fort Worth. We'll be back right after this. Really, what a game here tonight. Our Thursday night college football presented by Dave and Buster's. That's what they're playing for. Oh, and a few other things, but the Saddle Trophy. You know, I did not fully understand how much these two schools, alumni, fan bases, don't like it. This is a true rivalry, Texas Tech, TCU. They've been playing football head-to-head for a long time. A 1st down run for the Red Raiders. Is this 4-minute offense kind of timed out? How do you play this if you're Texas Tech?
I think what they're doing is trying to establish that run with the big guy, Trey King. Remember how they've rotated backs? This is where that should benefit, is having some fresh legs.
Duffy keeps. Was that the right decision? He got away. He got away and gets the 1st down. Banogu just could not quite get him to the ground.
It wasn't the right decision, but Duffy now feeling really confident about himself. We saw this play earlier, and Banogu makes this play and makes a tackle.
Yeah,
right now, with Duffy feeling the way he is and his confidence level so high, stiff arm gets outside.
Yeah, Banogu did exactly what he needed. Zone read, quarterback's reading 15. If he collapses down on the back, you pull it. In 15, Banogu gave the look like he was collapsing down, then popped out to the quarterback. Perfect technique. He just didn't make the tackle.
So it's 1st and 10 into TCU territory. Right around 4 minutes to go. Handoff King again. A little cutback. Dives ahead for a couple of yards. Well, the winner of this game moves to 2-1 in conference play. And I just have a feeling, Texas is playing really well. West Virginia has been impressive. I have a feeling this conference could get a lot more chaotic. You win this game, I mean, you're in position to be a contender in the Big 12.
Yeah, and I honestly, I don't care how this ends. I can't wait to watch Texas Tech the rest of the year.
Yeah, me too.
Who they play and who has to deal with this team, because this is a different Texas Tech team.
Plus now you got 2 different offenses to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the air raid,
Bowman
plus
still
you
can
got
come back.
the Jet Duffy offense. There's Henry, could not get away. Good open field tackle. It's 3rd down.
And you know, a game like West Virginia at Iowa State in this conference isn't just a slam dunk. I think we're all bracing for West Virginia at the end of the year where they have 4 big ones. Their 4 toughest games. But they better be careful going into Ames to take on Iowa State, who's coming off a big win themselves.
Yeah, that's Saturday night. That could be a problem for West Virginia. I'm with you. The clock is rolling, so we're down to almost 2.5 minutes to go in this game. Duffy, dangerous throw, knocked away incomplete. I say dangerous, maybe it wasn't going to be intercepted.
I could make an argument with the way this game has gone that you could run the quarterback there or run the football, get the clock either under 2 minutes or force Gary Patterson to have to use his 2nd timeout, and now you try to punt inside the 5-yard line just because of the way your defense has been playing.
Yeah, me and Kirk on the same page, and that's what I was thinking. You just don't want to make a mistake.
Right.
You're comfortable with the way your defense is playing. That ball was late coming out.
Yeah.
It's a safe throw. It was just late coming out. Had a receiver open.
Zolo pinned him deep last time. This one kind of a line drive. It's going to bounce inside the 10. Wow. Can they knock it out of bounds?
He downed it.
I think he did.
Yeah. He nonchalantly.
Yeah,
very nonchalantly.
We
was speechless.
We saw Dave leaning before to see if he could see the line. He definitely had his lean on right there.
Did.
Again,
Sheesh.
where is the ball? Not the feet. Where is the ball? And in fact, once he possessed the ball, it's down at the 2-yard line.
That is another part
right
of the
there. It's
rule.
down.
Hey,
yeah.
Dave, I like you are going to need him to give us a little, like, kick that ball out of bounds or something. I thought Dave was going to dive out the booth and try to down the ball.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Well, here's TCU inside their own 2-yard line again.
After all that, it worked. And now, I mean, this may be the last time you have the ball. A field goal can tie it. 2:21 to go with 2 timeouts, starting from the 1 or the 2 across the middle for a nice gain on 1st down. That gives him some breathing room.
Now you wouldn't be surprised to see Sean Robinson go with some tempo. That's when they're at their best, is when they have their foot on the accelerator and they try to get the defense on their heels.
That was a huge play. This throw is almost and should have been intercepted. Douglas Coleman had his hands on it, and that should have been a pick without a problem.
But I don't think he saw him dropping. Watch Coleman right here just sink underneath this route. And I think it surprised Sean Robinson. He never even saw him. He was reading the corner, but he didn't see Coleman slip underneath that, and he threw it right to him. They caught a break by not having the interception.
He got to see that guy. I mean,
yeah, he was focused on the corner.
He was right in front. He has to see that defender in front of him.
It hit Coleman right in the face. So what a huge break for TCU. Here comes a little bit of pressure. That throw is incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Again, David
if you're
Gibbs.
TCU, you're comfortable punting in this situation. If you don't get a first down, there's 2 minutes left. You have 2 timeouts. They are not in a situation where they have to go for it on 4th down. If they don't get it here, they punt. Now, defense, they need to stop. But that's what they're known for. That's Gary Patterson. That's what we know him to be as a defensive coach. If they have to punt, put the defense back out there and get a stop.
David Gibbs has been mixing up coverage these last couple plays. You see safety and safety.
3rd and 10, a huge play for the Horned Frogs. Down 3.
And you notice the blitz coming.
Right up the middle. Robinson just heaves it up, and it's caught. Rager came back and got it. It's a 1st down.
Sean Robinson threw this and then looked up at the scoreboard. He had no idea what happened. He throws this ball. There's the pressure. At least he got rid of it and throws it where Rager can come back to the ball, but he never turned to even look to see if it was a completion.
They get it in the hands of Rager again. He just had nowhere to go. Out of bounds. They will wind the clock under 2 minutes.
Watch Robinson. He just throws this, and then instead of instinctively looking, he just flips up at the scoreboard. Yes, you got it.
And Fry's transition from dropping back to coming forward, I've seen so many defensive backs from Texas Tech slip in that situation, even on turf, and so it's not a surprise in this game.
More pressure. This one is complete, which might be a bad thing for TCU.
Yeah,
clock winding.
Yeah, you're getting now to a position where you're going to have to go for it on 4th if you don't get it.
And they have to burn a timeout. So this is going to be their last shot. They have to. They've got 2 downs now to get a 1st down to keep the game going, essentially.
That is a big-time play by Dakota Allen.
Is there any doubt that they're going to blitz on this 3rd down? We finally seen Robinson find a way to get a 1st down. The last time they blitzed, it wasn't conventional, but he found a way.
Well, 4-man rush. They got pressure on him. That pass is complete. Now it's short. The clock will wind.
I was going to say,
4th down.
Not only is it short, the clock now, Gary Patterson's going. He wants them to just go ahead without the timeout.
Biggest play call of the game, and you don't want to burn your timeout to make this call. You just have to call it and go.
Game's over if they don't get it. They need a yard. Robinson's going backwards. Robinson. Pump fake. Robinson gets away. Now he's going to cut it back. Sean Robinson trying to keep the game alive. Stays on balance. Ball tipped up. Texas Tech has it.
This is kind of a microcosm of this year for TCU's offense, this play, where Sean Robinson just tries to make too much happen. You know, you mentioned, Dave, the 4-man rush, they do a good job again of getting to him. There's no one to his left. You got to admire that he's trying to make a play. But in trying to make that play, the ball goes up in the air, and it's just, again, it's been that kind of night and that kind of year for TCU's offense.
And full speed, I thought he threw a pass. At first, I thought he was going to get clear back around and try to make a play, and then
yeah, it looked like he had, like he had a wall of linemen. Yeah. But Texas Tech, man, this is a historic moment for Texas Tech in this era of Cliff Kingsbury and David Gibbs. Both these coaches deserve a lot of credit, and these players deserve a lot of credit.
I don't know that I've called a game when I've been more surprised by the way a team played a game than I am in the Texas Tech defense and their attitude in this game, their aggressiveness in this game, and their ability to tackle. They were
great. And
to bring hats to the party. Not just one guy open field, bringing guys to the show to collectively make a tackle.
And they were physical at the line of scrimmage for David Gibbs on that side. And let's talk about it again one last time about Jet Duffy stepping up and making just enough plays, especially in that fourth quarter, to be able to give them this 3-point win.
Change their offense in 10 days.
Yeah.
Change their offense and won against a very talented team on the road.
Penn State Tech is a defensive football team.
A whole new program. And love it.
Take that home with you.
What a win. Kirk Herbstreit, Joey Galloway, great to have you guys with us here on Thursday night. You can come back anytime. For Laura Rutledge, for Kirk, for Joey, Dave Fleming, saying so long. 17-14. What a win for Texas Tech. Sports Center coming up in 15 seconds.